Heavenly Delusion has been scratching a particular itch in the back of my head since the manga started in early 2018. And my skull has finally gone concave when the anime dropped. It had me reading from 12 PM to 11 AM and then it got me going through 4 monitors and making round trips to IKEA from the rage of having to wait another week for an episode. And they most certainly aren't finding the bodies after I got to the season finale. The reason Delusion has given me several onset mental illnesses is that it's a master-crafted story that effortlessly goes from action to drama to humor to mystery. I mean, Full Metal Alchemist levels of solid narrative, and I don't say that lightly. And much like Full Metal, experiencing it once got me foaming at the mouth to talk about it. Or else the characters be running around in my head will put me next to Jack the Ripper. This, good people, is one for the history books. The anime, I mean, not the crimes. Heavenly Delusion takes place in Japan after an unknown disaster sent them back to the apocalyptic feudal era. The main prevailing theories on how are either the asteroids took it personal that life grew back on Earth after KOing the dinosaurs, or the aliens got drunk and did the equivalent of rear-ending the entire planet. Whatever the hell happened,
it is what it is.
Seems to be the reaction from everyone in Delusion. This extends to our duo of heroes, Kiruko and Maru, who are traveling across Japan to find heaven. Maru is... well, Maru is a hound.
I'll let you touch my boobs if you go get...
Bro is down terrible. This man's priorities are get Kiruko a jump rope, find a way to get her drenched in oil, fulfill the wishes of his late master to find a place called Heaven, and hit that Victory 69 once they're there. They're both lucky all his barking is only evidence of the dog within because damn, Maru's hands are demonic. See nary a block from this man, all he knows is weave get hit in haymaker. We like that. Kiruko is Maru's bodyguard, which sounds oxymoronic until you understand she walks straight out of a western. Her hand, steady. Her mind, clear. Whoever was testing her, dead on draw, don't even play.
Well, I'm being a man.
I am too, actually.
Hold on. I'm getting a call saying because
I'm a man.
that's a dude in there? They got a woke Skittle squad member in my anime? Oh no. What happened to my perfect conservative Sunrise Nippon Nation? What? Hold on. I forgot. I don't care because I'm not a dork. Now, normally the two ways this discussion would play out is I either explain in detail the myriad of reasons why minorities having predominant roles in stories is overall good for the narrative, or I recite the words of a wise scholar. Instead, I will speak to those who are upset Kiruko is no longer spank bank material and direct you to this diagram. If Kiruko decides they a she because they got some crazy knockers out of the ordeal, you ain't hitting. And if they go with he for extra inventory space, you ain't hitting. Why? Cause Maru hitting that front back and forward first chance he gets. Bro is devoted so ferociously that if you try to draw Kiruko in 20 positions, he'll appear in all of them like a curse. Like a curse. As I was saying, Kiruko is the main guardian of the soul brain cell allotted to the group, mainly using it to piece together clues and strangers' backstories to keep them both from being 6 feet under. It's a powerful brain cell too because it not only keeps her rational but emotional as well. A lot of the progress to heaven is because of her, and so is a lot of the sidetracking as someone asks for help and she inevitably always does. She tries to make it seem like a business transaction when she does, to hide her empathy ruling her. Make no mistake, she loses that brain cell quite often. It doesn't go anywhere near Maru when she does, but she does lose it. It's part of why the journey is so fun to watch. The way these two interact almost makes you forget that the world's ended. The way they play off each other by bickering, helping each other, and then bickering again always brings a smile to my face. It also gets me attached for the more emotional moments when reality comes Christ! The Hiroko, right? The Hiroko. Alright, so the reason why Maru needed a bodyguard in the first place to travel across Japan is after the collapse, we got some new aggressive. Do you mind? The Hiruku now roam the earth. Their domineering presence makes it clear that they own the place now, and humans just have to live with it. They're also why rebuilding is so hard, as the risk of walking 5 feet, turning left and encountering a JoJo stand is sure to make anyone complacent with lying down and waiting to die. Fortunately, our heroes have a way of dealing with this, namely Maru, and that gripping the heart of the monsters to the fatality does its job. Unfortunately for the duo, the stink of protagonist has been carried across winds far and wide, like the waft of children to pit bulls, making it so every Hiruku on the island nation beelines it to us. Do we have a problem? And it's not only the Hiruku that populate the road to heaven, but everyone who didn't die to the earthquake, starvation, societal collapse, and weirdly Earth's Ice Age cosplay. And all of the people Hiruku and Maru meet along the way are the true heart of heavenly delusion. This goes for the people they don't meet as well, i.e. the children in the science lab in some far-off unreachable location that might as well be Atlantis or Utah. One of the best things about apocalyptic stories is that they're one of the genres that can do away with the inherent subservience that background characters have towards the narrative. The destruction of structure within the story extends to the pillars that hold it up. No longer is there a clear route to progressing the story with characters as waypoints. This allows for the characters to vie not only for control of the world but also the narrative, as nothing dictates the role they must rigidly fit in. Meaning we're exposed to deeper explorations of characters. The clear answers for progress no longer exist. Like, take a look at my boy Joichi. The first we see of him, he crawls out a hole. Off to a great start. In any other series, he'd be another stop to point the duo forward, or agree to help after a short detour quest. However, it becomes clear this guy isn't at all vital to Maru and Kiruku's journey. He actually hinders the protags by literally moving his car in front of the episode's clue, so he can squeeze him for cash as he gives useless info. Absolutely diabolical levels of hustling. He doesn't even join the duo after all of his shenanigans, literally there to cause problems and pawn off his car, and yet I enjoyed every moment he was on screen because he wasn't crucial. He shifts around the screen, and through conversations he reveals weapons and haggles for cash by stopping his info dump mid-sentence. He not only takes pride in the sleaze he's acquired as a practical survivalist, but also the stories he tells, hamming every one of them as if in an opera house, and not in front of two people who could beat his ass. And maybe, just maybe, if the character decides to stick around long enough, you'll see them stripped raw and at their weakest, allowing a quick glance at their soul. That was a moment of love, by the way. With no one at the center of the world, one of the best ideas that Heavenly Delusion plays with is how love manifests. Each side character fights tooth and nail for themselves, or more often for someone close. It's never pretty. Kiruku's heroic attributes stem from incestuous tendency. Maru, while kind-hearted, is incredibly possessive. This guy smells kids' shoes but ultimately has their best interests at heart. Maybe to keep up the daily stack. Don't get me started on him. Living on what's now the corpse of yesterday, every background character's answer to the question, how will the world be rebuilt and for who, will live rent-free in my head for a very, very long time. There's so much more to say if I could get started on this bitch. Oh, but I think it'd be better if you go off and see it for yourself, and then join me in refreshing the manga site to see if it updated.